Hello, folks. This is Patrick, Hobbies and Habits, and it has been a long time since I worked on any of my mini colored land figures, and I needed to take a carnage break. So I decided I'll go back and revisit some of these, and well, actually revisit one, well, maybe two, and complete or finish working on the other two. Let's talk about this briefly. I want to keep this short. So let's jump right into it. And I'm going to start off with the two that I will be continuing my work on first. All right, let's start with Felice. As you can see, this is a nude model. It came that way. And when I go looking for a model that I can use to customize into a different character, I try to find a model that has some features of the character I want to change that model into. Hope that made sense. Now, this one, it came with the helmet. If you are familiar with the mini colored land in Felice, you understand the importance of the helmet. So I got it just because of the helmet. I had no idea how I was going to customize it. I had no idea how I was going to put clothes on this model or anything. But after many, I want to say years, but I'll say many months of practice, studying and trial and error and watching YouTube videos, I've come up with a way to put some clothes on her. So I'm going to go ahead and start work on this again. As you can see, I didn't get very far. I think the last thing I did was etched out what her clothes or costume should look like. And I was working on her bow. I cut the sword off that was here, and I was working on the bow. That's as far as I got, folks. But I got an idea now, and I think it's going to work. So I will be continuing work on that Felice. This here, you probably don't recognize him by his colors. As we know, most of the alien characters, what are the names? Man, I've been I've been away from so long. I can't remember the name. Hold on 1 minute. Oh man, this hurts. How could I forget the name of them? This is one of my favorite stories. Okay, anyway, this is going to be no done. All right. His colors were amber and what were his colors? Magenta and amber. God, okay, I gotta go refresh my memory on everything since before I really get into this, because I can't remember the names, can't remember colors. Anyway, you know, most of those characters had their own colors, and those are his colors. In case you can't identify him by his colors, that's who this is going to be. Oh, by the way, he is not headless. That is the head. And right now it's on this stick so I can handle it while I paint it. But it's going to look something like that. Okay. And I'm thinking about taking this color looks too dark. I think this is too dark for amber, but I'm going to go and study the color amber, make sure I get the right shade for, actually it's kind of like a yellow, but anyway, I want to get the right shade, and yeah, I'm going to go ahead and finish up on that one. This is one of my favorite characters in the series. If you can tell me who this is, you are a true mini colored land fan. All right. I'm not going to even say her name, but if you can tell me, then I know you're a true fan. Anyway, I'm going to revisit this one. I think I have her colors too dark, the blue part anyway. And I believe her colors were blue and yellow. If not yellow, I know there was blue. But I think I'm going to remove this shade of blue, put a lighter shade possibly, and just redo all of this. I don't care for too much of the colors on this one. So I'm going to do that. And I want to save the best for last. And before I start on this one, let's go ahead and look at the reference for that particular model. That's it right there. one of the all-time favorites in this series. That's Aiken. And before you ask, yes, I do have the spear. It's right there. All right. And I have finally figured out a way, and I finally honed. I guess it's honed. I've honed my skills so that I am almost sure that I can sculpt a face and a head. And that's why I've been holding off so long on coming back to revisit this one. The model came with this head, and as you can see, that's Dr. Fate. And for the longest, I've had this head on there. And okay, before I give you the close-up, I am learning how to do this stuff, folks. I am no expert by any means. And I know this looks rude, it looks crude, but this is my first try at sculpting a face and a head. I may have done a couple of heads, but not the face. So just keep that in mind, all right? Don't be too harsh on me. But I am just starting on this, so I have a long way to go. The end result will not look like this. This is just the beginning. But that's where we are right now. Oh, one more thing. I do not like mixed media when it comes to my models. And this here is cloth, the cape. So I do plan on redoing this. I want to try to give him a resin cape. If not complete resin, at least resin coated. So this will be coming off and I'll be redoing that. Now, one big thing I want to try with this. As you can see, the wire that comes into the spear is right there, and it goes around its back and attaches over here. Use this as a pointer. Attaches over here. Now, in actuality, there should be like a little small power box here, but I did have one, but something happened to it, and so I removed it and just plugged it right into his hip. At any rate, I want to make this so that it levitates. Levitates. Floats? No, not float. Levitates, yeah. Now, I will have the wire or thin piece of string, something that when you look at this, you'll be like, wait a minute, how is that little skinny piece of wire holding that thing up? In actuality, folks, if this works out right, the wire will not be supporting the spear. I want to use some magnets and have this thing actually floating or levitating in the air. So that's going to be the big task for this one right here, the hardest thing for me to do. Anyway, if you're interested in any of these characters, make sure you stay tuned. Come back. If you are a Julian May fan, if you are a Many Colored Land fan, make sure you come back and check me out, folks. As always, I want to thank you for watching this video and thank you for your continued support of the channel. Okay, and as you know, I need to get the thumbnail shot, so let me get that. I think that would do it right there. Let's see. No, that's a nice shot, but just, oh man. Okay, let me see. Maybe right there. No, that won't work. All right, folks, thanks again. I'll find a thumbnail somewhere in all of this. Right there. That would be nice if he had a head on him. All right, bye.